Helping Seniors Television, all about improving quality of life for seniors. If you're a senior, know a senior, or plan to be a senior, then this show is for you. It's all about helping you develop your own aging plan so you can age actively and with dignity. Helping Seniors Television from the Helping Seniors Network of information, education, and resources.
Let's join the Senior Travel Safe and Fun discussion already in progress.
And the socialization aspect is so important. And that's one of the things that happens with travel. We were talking before we started the seminar, you know, that you go on a travel, you go on a cruise, you meet nice people, you become really lifelong friends, but they go back to Portland, Oregon, or wherever they live, and now you're corresponding by by either email or Facebook likes and, you know, sending each other pictures of your family. One of the ideas that we had was, well, what if people from Brevard County would travel together? That way, when you make new friends, you can go out to lunch the next week and things like that. So we had the good privilege of meeting Chris Morse, who is he's actually serves on our volunteer board of directors in the organization, but he came to us a couple of years ago. He said, Kerry, he said, I've been doing travel, your words, Chris, not mine, since dinosaurs roamed the earth. And he and his partner, Betty, are experts in what they call senior travel. They're actually special needs certified for travel, which means people who have to travel with oxygen, different things. He knows how to make those things happen safely and effectively. And that's where his specialty has been all those years with his travel company. He said, Kerry, I'd like to help you guys put this together in a way that actually will benefit your organization. Not only does it solve some of the socialization things, because travel is fun and it's a nice way to get out and meet people, but also we can make it possible for people to travel who thought maybe their traveling days were done. And more importantly, at least from our perspective of helping seniors, he goes, this can be a way that you can continue to fund the organization. And we have a big dream of creating a foundation, the Helping Seniors Foundation, that helps people with actual, right now we're a service. All we can do is connect people, but we have a dream that one day we could be big enough that we could actually step in and make some differences. So kind of with that, I'm going to turn the first part of the program over to Chris, and then we're going to kind of break it into two parts. He's going to talk a little bit about travel, how travel works. I had thought we just all went online now and just booked stuff. You know, we see a deal, we click the box, we pay, put in our credit card number, and I thought that's how we travel now. I thought travel agents were done. And he said, no, no, no. He said, let me tell you about that. So the first part, he's going to talk a little bit about senior travel and how the travel business works. And then after that, I'm going to ask him, we're going to come into some specific things that are upcoming specific to the Helping Seniors Travel Club. So again, with our series, this is all about helping you get your ducks in a row. We're just trying to help you plan ahead. This one, we want to make a fun one, safe and sound travel. We all love to be out and travel. So with that, here's Chris. Oh, real quick. So this, by the way, was our last October. We were all out at sea. This was our Helping Seniors inaugural travel club. We had literally 55 or so people on the ship with us, and we had a great sailing around the Caribbean. All these people became lifelong friends. My favorite story from this cruise was that we had come back, and I guess maybe a couple of weeks after this, I'd gone to another event with a local charity where they were at a bowling alley. And all of a sudden I hear, hey, Kerry, hey, Kerry. And it was two of our friends that we'd met on the cruise ship, and they happened to be at the bowling alley, and that's the point of this whole thing. So with that, Chris Morse, Helping Seniors Travel Club.
Thank you, Kerry. Thanks for the nice introduction. Also, I want to thank everybody for coming out on Memorial Day, especially Hal working in the back on the cameras. Thank you, Hal. Much appreciated. My name is Chris Morse, with my wife, Betty, who is my life partner and partner in the business. I want to welcome you all to our travel program for today. I started back in 1982 after I'm a Vietnam vet. So in 1982, I saw a need for some of the vets that had some serious problems and were wounded and so forth to be able to get out and travel. So I went around to some of the senior travel organizations back in Los Angeles. That's where I first started from. And I met a lot of the vets who were going to the senior centers for help and support. And I started putting together some travel programs for vets so they could get out. Some were either paralyzed or had limbs missing or had Agent Orange problems, but we got them on cruises going out of Los Angeles and out of Seattle for the Alaska cruise. And I became fairly popular in Los Angeles for doing that. And that sort of let us grow into, we have 3 divisions. We have a senior division. We have a corporate division where we work with corporations doing their incentive travel and their conferences and their sales meetings. And then we have a regular travel agency called the Travel Center, which does all kinds of travel all over the world. But we kind of specialize in seniors. And when we moved out to Florida, my wife lost her son, and we moved out here to adopt our granddaughter. So our granddaughter could stay here in Florida, and thank God she's now in FSU up in Tallahassee. She's a pre-med student. She's doing really well, and I'm so blessed to be able to give her that opportunity to do that. But we moved to Florida. We moved to Merritt Island, Florida, and then we started working on the senior programs here in Florida. We were able to meet up with Kerry and Helping Seniors of Brevard, Joe Steckler, and we really wanted to make a commitment to the seniors here in Brevard County because I think, Kerry, we have more seniors in our county than any other county, I think, in Florida. Is that correct? So there's a lot of seniors here in Brevard County. We really wanted to make a difference. So we are special needs certified, which means that we went to special classes to become special needs certified, so we can help those that are missing limbs. We can help those that have breathing problems. We can help those that are in wheelchairs or confined. As a matter of fact, Kerry, we had, I think, 3 couples come on our last cruise that were wheelchair bound. We were able to get them to wheelchairs, get them on board, get them to handicap cabins that they needed. So we were just there for them. And whenever they needed to reach out, they don't reach out to the cruise line or to the cruise that we're on. They reach out to me, and then I go take care of everything within a half hour of when they have their request. So I know seniors can go online and book travel online, but in 2018, the cruise line, all the travel vendors experienced quite a phenomenon. They gave the internet discount pricing, so you would go on the internet and book and relieve their customer service problems on the telephone. Trouble was, when you booked on the internet, there's nobody to call when you ran into a problem. And I know most of you have been on a cruise. When you go on a cruise and you see that long line in front of the concierge desk, those are internet customers because something went wrong with the booking on the internet. So we match or beat any internet rate. We work with the vendors that love seniors. We get the vendors to donate back part of their profit to Helping Seniors of Brevard. We also give some of our profit back to Helping Seniors of Brevard. We guarantee the lowest price that you can get. We are your panic button. If anything goes wrong between the time we book and the time you actually come home, including your trip, you call us. Don't call the cruise line. Don't call us, and within a half a day, wherever you are, that problem is taken care of. So we're really pleased to be able to offer that to all of our seniors, actually to all of our customers. We book trips worldwide. So we love cruising. I've been on over 135 cruises. I'm a platinum or gold or whatever member of all the cruise lines. I know all the presidents of all the cruise lines. They respect me, so when I give them a call, I don't call them, but I call their secretary. When I call them, they heed my word and they take care of the problem because I don't call them all the time, so they know when I call it's important. So you're in really good hands if you can help and support Helping Seniors of Brevard through the Helping Seniors of Brevard Cruise Club or Travel Club, which helps the foundation, and we're going to grow and grow and grow and be able to take care of a lot of the seniors that can't do what we can do, that are either homebound or housebound or need our help and support. So moving forward, we put together some great programs. And Kerry, do you want to share any information on how the travel club started and what are some of our goals?
Absolutely. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, I guess the point that I would like to bring up is that same as we started to talk about, right? when you live in a community, some people really are adventurous travelers. Chris, you just came back from the Mediterranean, not just a couple of weeks ago. And so some people say, well, I want to take trips. I want to go out west. I want to go international. Chris, that's an area you guys have a lot of expertise with. The point is, and I remember you telling this story, and maybe it's worth relating. You were talking with a family, and they were like, we absolutely can't travel anymore because of this situation. I can't remember the specifics, but I remember you shared with us how you not only were able to make it safe for that person, I don't remember if it was a cruise, but I'll ask you to tell the story, but they were not only able to travel, but they discovered that they could travel, and it kind of gave them a whole new perspective on life because they realized that they could do more than I guess they thought they could do. And so that was one of the points, is like, we want to combat this thing about isolation for seniors has really been tough. When it pops up into our top 10 of senior needs, I think it was like number 6 or 7. And remember, this is self-reporting. It's not like, oh, here's a list. You tell us which ones you think are, the important topics. It's actually people who are actually checking and saying, hey, this is a need for me. And so one of the reasons we try to do these resource center events and things like that, you'll see us out at a lot of different events whenever there's a senior expo. We're out there because we want to meet and greet seniors and hear what's on their minds. But they are talking about, like, we need to get together. And so one of the things is Chris and I, he goes, I can help people even if they're trying to travel and they want to be independent, or maybe they want to do a family reunion, or they want to go with some family members. I can help them, and I can get them whatever deal they're seeing on the internet, but now they have backup from me. And then the other side of it, though, as I said, but there's a lot of people who maybe don't want to travel alone, okay? Maybe they're not as comfortable going out and being quite as adventurous. They want to go in a group because there's, I don't know, safety in numbers, but there's also like comfort. You see the same people when you sit down to dinner, you wave at them as you walk around the ship. On that cruise that we showed the picture of here, I think the oldest lady was 92. And there were several people who you had to make like special arrangements because they had certain needs on board. I'm trying to remember, but it made the trip so much fun, and all these people became like great friends. And after a while, Chris will talk about the next one. But so many people said, when is the next one? Because it just becomes, it's almost like a family. But tell that story that you related about where you'd help this family figure out that they actually could travel again.
It's a fun story. First of all, we had 4 senior ladies on our last cruise in September on the MSC Divina. And boy, they want to go back again as singles to meet all the friends. And 3 of those single ladies are now visiting and talking with some of the people that they met on the cruise. So it's so nice to do that. The story goes, I was talking to a family who said they couldn't travel because they had major breathing problems, and they always had to wear a breathing machine of some sort, and that they couldn't travel, and the son called the airline, and there was a whole bunch of stuff going on, and they couldn't figure it out, so they said, we're never going to travel again. Well, we were producing a cruise, a little 3-day cruise, which we're going to present to you a little bit later on, and I contacted them, and they said, oh, we can't travel, and I said, well, why can't you travel? They said, well, we have a breathing machine, and we just can't travel. So I said, if I can make this trip a special trip for you, would you let me book that trip for you? Just give me an opportunity. Trust me, because I've been doing this for years. Trust me how to do this. They said, go ahead. I bet, go ahead. But they said, go ahead, not because they thought I could do it. They challenged me to go ahead. Well, did you know that the airlines have specific requirements for breathing machines? They're afraid that the batteries might run out while you're on board the aircraft. So they're saying, well, we need to have at least 20 extra batteries to come along with your equipment just in case something happens. So we had that problem. The cruise lines also had a little bit of a difficulty with that. The transportation from the bus to the cruise line. So there's a number of different hoops, but because I've done this before, I was able to get that couple on that ship, and they had the greatest time ever. We were able to move them down to more of a portable breathing machine that they didn't think they could have. And at we rented it. I use special needs organization down in Fort Lauderdale, Florida for all of my equipment that I need. They were able to ship it up. I think it was $20 a day for the breathing machine, the little portable one that they could use. So they were so happy. They probably booked 5 or 6 extra cruises with me. And they like the short-termers, but now they're booking 7-dayers because they feel really comfortable that they could do that. So it's a wonderful story. Also with the Vietnam vets, again, I'm a Vietnam vet. I saw some of the needs for the veterans to be able to travel with their families. And some of the vets had significant others and grandkids. So we put together a veterans grandkid cruise. It was fabulous. They didn't want to bring their kids, they wanted to bring their grandkids because their grandkids never knew much about the war. The grandkids never knew what the grandfather went through during the Vietnam War, so they were able to take their kids on board the ship or the land package and have a wonderful time. So our faith journey besides travel is also working with those folks that think they can't travel or think they might have a hard time traveling, or there's so many roadblocks for people to travel that they just kind of give up. I'm your roadblock undoer, if that's a good word to say that. I just made that up. So we'd love to have your business. We'd love to earn your business. And again, everything that we do, we work through vendors that support helping seniors of Brevard, and we also donate back part of our profits back to helping seniors of Brevard. Because like Kerry said, we're getting 400 phone calls a month from seniors that need support. And we're a nonprofit organization, so we need to make money in various ways, and one of the ways we want to make money is in our travel club. So, Kerry, is there anything else you want to talk about the foundation, or what's coming up next, or how we should proceed?
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, I think you did a good job of explaining that's the why for why we thought this would be a good idea for helping seniors. And like I said, who would have the foresight to start a travel club and then they shut down everything because of COVID? But that gave us 2 years to kind of refine it. And like I said, no kidding, this cruise that we were on, I think we had to change the date 4 or 5 times because it was first going to be an April cruise because, it was going to be 30 days, stop the spread. Then it was going to be that fall. Then it was going to be in the spring. And we finally went sailing October of last year. And so one of the nice things is now that they figured out how to keep us safe in COVID, okay? So it's not the challenge, and it was very serious, of course, first on because they didn't have a vaccine. They didn't know much about it. Now it's really that you can be safe as long as you do all the right precautions and things like that. One of the blessings, by the way, when you work with a travel agent as opposed to booking stuff on your own, is all these things that you have to happen. Like we were just talking before you guys got here, is like, well, now he said some of the cruise lines and things are saying you have to have the booster shot. And he says, personally, I prefer to not have to book those because I want to tell you that this cruise was you were able to go on this cruise if you were non-vaccinated. That's how it was presented to us. That's how we presented it. Literally at the 11th hour, I think it was September, just before the cruise was set to sail, the Bahamas government changed the rules and said everybody has to be 100% vaccinated. Now, MSC was only going to, quote, their private island. They own the island, okay? So that it wasn't like it was going into Nassau or other places. And they, of course, had to adhere to all the CDC standards, but it didn't matter. It was Bahamian government, so they said 100% vaccination. So we literally lost, 10, 12 people off the cruise because for whatever reason, their doctors had said, don't take the vaccine or whatever, So we lost several people that couldn't join us this time. But the point was, all of that headache fell on these guys because they had to call and figure out, this is what you need to board the ship, and we'll help you. And he even helped us at that time. It's a little easier now, but even at that time, we all had to kind of scramble to get those COVID tests because they needed to have that, even with the vaccine, they needed to know that you weren't going to bring it on the ship. So my point is, there's so much value to what Chris does. In the second part of this, what I really want to do, one thing I'm going to ask you to, before you switch gears, share the phone number so that people say, I want to get in touch with you. Maybe I'm thinking about a family trip, doesn't have anything to do necessarily with helping seniors. I want to call you about that. Or maybe they say, hey, I want to find out about the groups that you are taking for helping seniors and go with that. And then we're going to shift into the second part of our presentation. We're actually going to be talking about some travel opportthat are coming up. You can always find out about those at helpingseniourstravelclub.org, helpingseniourstravelclub.com. I'm sorry, I said it wrong, helpingseniourstravelclub.com. Chris?
Yeah, I'd like to share another story with you. I just came back from a group cruise from Rome to Rome through the Greek islands. And I am also handicapped. I have 2 knees and a back that don't function very well. So I booked what they call the least physical excursions from the excursion list that the cruise lines give you. And I read very carefully everything that they were doing. I could not do half of those tours because they were walking 1.5 miles, 2 miles. We were in Ephesus, and we were walking down this street. Can you believe we were walking down the street where Anthony and Cleopatra rode their chariot, a gazillion years ago? But that street's about 1.5 miles, 2 miles long. And if you have a knee problem or a back problem, sometimes you just can't make it, and you have to sit down for a while. And, of course, the group continues to go on, and then you lose sight of the group. Then you got to catch up. So what I try to do for my seniors is I go through all of that with them just to make sure that they can keep up with the tour guide, because the tour guide's got the little flag, right? And they're just tooting along. They're just having a ball. And sometimes we get lost, and I got lost once. So it's just a fun story to tell you about that. Also, when you book on the internet, they don't tell you about passports, they don't tell you about visas, they don't tell you about COVID, they don't tell you about shots, they don't tell you about rules and requirements that you need to either get on a land package or a cruise package. And to give an example, when we had to have a 24-hour COVID test before we got on the airplane to go to Rome. That's all they said we had to do. But I went to the Rome system. I'm sorry, the folks that handle Rome out of New York, and I forgot the word. I'm having a senior moment. And I called them up, and they said, oh, Chris, you don't know this, and we don't let people know too much about it, but you also need to take a test when you get into Rome. We don't care what your test said in the U.S. You have to take another test. So I told all of our clients that they were prepared. 90% of the people that went on that cruise did not know they had to take a second test in Rome. And it backed up the cruise. The cruise went out 4 hours late. The people were upset. So please, if you have a travel agent, book through your travel agent. If you don't have a travel agent, please give me an opportunity to earn your business. I would love to earn your business. My phone number is 818, it's an old Los Angeles number, 818-430-1480. And Betty and I will answer that phone. We'll answer it up to 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, almost 24/7. And our email address is travelcenterusa@gmail.com. And that's also our website, so you can look us up anytime. And of course, helpingseniorsbrevardtravelclub.org, where we're going to have all of our special cruises. And as COVID becomes hopefully history, maybe. It's not the monkey virus, right? But as COVID diminishes, hopefully we'll have more and more cruises out of Port Canaveral. We would love to work with you. All the profits that we make and all the vendor profits that we make go back to Helping Seniors Brevard Foundation, which is really important to us. And I guess that will wrap up what we have coming up in the future. Yes. As you know, all companies have secrets. I had a phone call and said, I saw on the internet where if you book travel on Tuesday for airline tickets, it's going to be the best day to book travel. And the internet puts that out all the time because that's the slowest day of the year, or the slowest day of the week that they have. So guess what they want you to do is book travel during that day. So what do they tell you? Oh, it's the best day to book travel. It isn't. how the pricing works on an airline. It starts off with a price per person, or what they call price per seat. And they have to sell that seat at so much money to break even on that plane. The cost of the plane, the fuel of the plane, the staff on the plane, the charges at the airport when they have their gate, that also costs them money. So they add all that up and it comes to a price. That's their break-even price. So then they add a profit to it, and then they put that out 6 or 7 or 8 months out. And as the plane fills up or the plane doesn't fill up, either they reduce their price or they increase their price. That price never stays the same. Okay, everybody says, well, I saw a price at $6.45 and it's $6.40. No, it could be $6.45 on Monday and Friday it's $7.30. So don't get caught up with that, oh, it's going to be the same price and I can wait a week and book. You can't do that because the price may go up. So that's where we come in. I have a special configuration on my computer. It tells me how the plane is doing so far as population is concerned on the plane. So I can tell you, you need to book it now, or we should wait maybe. The prices may come down a little bit. All the airlines now have almost doubled in price. If you notice the recent air, okay, all the airlines have to make money back from the times they weren't flying and the cost of the fuel, okay? So don't think airline prices are going to go down. And if you see, you're going to get caught up with this. Airline discounts. Domestic carriers do never, ever discount their prices. Never. It's all marketing.
Thank you, Chris Morse. I hope you found this helpful, enjoyable, and I hope you'll consider traveling with us. I want to give a very special thank you to Zon Beachside for hosting us here.
I'm Joe Steckler. Thank you for joining our program today. I'd like to remind you that our senior information line is available to you at 321-473-7770. There you can get help and direction that could be helpful for your specific situation or circumstances. The work of helping seniors is very important, but we can't do it alone. That is why our sponsors here in Brevard County are so important. I'd like to thank our many area sponsors, businesses, and medical providers who support the mission of helping seniors that help us carry the cost of our media efforts. If you'd like to join us either as a business partner or simply donate as an individual, we would welcome your call at 321-473-7770. You are always welcome to visit our website at www.helpingseniors.brevard.org. Thanks so much for your help. It does make a difference.